Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another experiment. Now today we are looking at Southampton, but not Southampton first team. We're going to be looking at Southampton B team. So what I've done is I've got Southampton a B team, as I'm sure you're aware, and I've popped them in the pitching in Southern League Division 1 South. So they're nice and low in the table. And I wanted to see how it would affect the side. So what Southampton have done in real life is change their academy to a B team. So instead of under 23s, they're just a B team. And I wanted to kind of replicate that, but also put them in the actual football league, a bit like Barcelona and Real Madrid and a few other clubs in Spain and Italy do, and have them actually in the league system and see kind of how high they can get and how many players they manage to develop, all that sort of thing. So yeah, they've still got their under 23s and under 18s, so it'll be still going through that academy process, but they'll also have a B team to put any other players they may want to, or recovering players or anything like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they perform in the league as well as going forward. So we'll jump ahead a good 5 years or so and kind of go from there. But there you go, you can see here, this is kind of where they stand. They're in a league with the likes of Winchester City, Sholing, and also Basingstoke, who are a few names you might know, Evesham as well. But yeah, you got the key players like Sam McQueen and Jankovic in there. But it'll be interesting to see how things go. Let's jump ahead and take a look. Okay, so here we are. We are at Southampton, the main team, who are still in the Premier League. They're sitting in 10th, 5 years on, 2025 now, and it's just come to the end of the season. A few players you can see here. Buendia's come in as well, and Salisu's still hanging around and that sort of thing. But let's take a look at the B team and what's gone down. So it looks like they've still got a lot of players still playing. A few of the older players now. So you've got likes of Seamus Keogh, who's now 23, and he's still playing at the B team, along with Jankovic, who's 23 now playing there. Luke Device. You've even got Nikita Bakalyuk, who's come in and, well, out on loan currently, but he's been in the team. So that's interesting to see. Now, let's take a look at kind of where they are. So it looks like they're in Sky Bet League 2. So they've obviously done quite well to move up the divisions. They're sitting in 6th place in League 2 as well. So they've done quite well, I have to say. They've got the likes of McCafferty, who's in the highest average rating, and gold on yellow cards, which maybe not so exciting, but there you go. Let's see, can we see how they've got on in competition? So, I mean, they've shot up. They've won the league every season. First. They stayed in, yeah, they weren't hanging around in those times. So that's certainly interesting. Competition-wise, you can see they've won a bunch of stuff with regards to that. Best 11, they don't have a best 11 because because of the players. But this is where kind of a bunch of their players have gone to, by the looks of things. So like Caleb Watts is now at Melbourne City, a player that you maybe could be doing better. He's not on loan or anything, is he? No, he's gone permanently, and you can see 132 appearances for Southampton B, but he's gone now. But you've also got the likes of Pierre-Emmanuel Ekwa-Alimbi, who's actually come from Chelsea. So he's joined the side and gone into the B team to either lift them up, but also he's 23, so he's got plenty of time to grow and develop as a player. So there's these players that are coming in. Gustav Lillenberg has moved on to Västerås. So interesting. Let's see if they continue. They're like we saw, they're in League 2 now. Stephen Gold's the big man for them at the back. How are they playing? It looks like they're playing a Simmer formation, but with Xhaka, Morris, who's still around, Burnett, Jankovic, French, Rogers, Hugill, Hall. So there's a few players still hanging around that were in the initial side. But let's jump another 5 and take another look. Okay, so we're at Southampton once again. How are they doing in the league? They're in 14th currently. Let's take a look at their previous competition. So in fact, they got relegated. So that's interesting because it would have meant that if they got relegated, Southampton B would have dropped down an extra division if they were in the Championship. So that would have been interesting to see how it works. But they then finished 6th. That's quite insane, really. They got relegated, won it, the Championship, and then finished 6th in the league. So they were in high competitions. I mean, That's kind of crazy when you think about it. They've got likes of Billy Gilmore as captain on £120,000 a week. That's not bad. Southampton B are in Sky Bet League 1. Let's take a look at where they finished. They finished just above the relegation zone, and in fact, they were on the same points as Portsmouth. I bet they were some good games. Let's take a look and see those games and see what's gone on there. So we've got to find one. So there's 1-1 against Portsmouth, and then do we have another one around here? I think I might have scrolled past it. In fact. There it is. Oh, and it was 1-0 to Portsmouth. So kind of heartbreaking for me personally as a Saints fan, but it's fine. We're developing the younger players, playing a bit of a weirder formation now. Sky Bet League 2 champion as well. Builder-based FA Trophy. They won it 3 times. Southern League Cup twice. So interesting. So they were at. Let's take a look at their information facilities. That's the one. So they're now at Marcus Lieber Park. See, they were at Tottenham's ground, which I believe is, I'm not actually sure what their ground's called now. I'm going to feel awful because that's bad. Please ignore it. But they're still playing in Tottenham, but it's the Marcus Lieber ground, 19,000 seater stadium, and it was built in 2023. So there you go. That's a bit of information for you. Some excellent youth academy, as we well know, and they do train at Staplewood along with the rest of the Southampton squad. So interesting to see. Now, players-wise, they're still keeping it pretty young. 23 is probably the maximum you've got there. The Southampton squad themselves are older than that. You have few players, 1, maybe 2 players that are below the age of 23. 3 players. So that's interesting. The under 23s is looking very full. What about under 18s as well? So yeah, so they are keeping those players to hopefully develop a bit further. Maybe that's to make a bit of money as well. Is that a possibility? Are they making a bit of money off these players now that they're being developed a little further? Can we see how that's gone? Obviously none of those players probably, I don't know. I'm not going to know most of the players now at this later stage. But if we go through, we might see some. So Carl Walker-Peters went for 18 million. That's not bad. Jan Bednarek went off to Palace, which, you know. Lewis Cook went to Barcelona for 56 million. And David Brooks to Norwich for 46. Jeez. That is crazy. Crazy money. Crazy money. A few more other ones there. Matthew Hall went for 4.9k. Okay, he was one of the youth players. I know that for sure. Bakaliuk went out on loan there. I'll be honest, it doesn't look like it's really benefited him that much. Mohamed Elianusi went for 39 million. Wow, he must have had a good season. That's quite crazy. Eddie Beach went for 140k. So that's one who he's now at Arsenal. Well, there you go. Maybe that game time he got at the lower leagues at Brentford at Southampton B got him the money move, you could say. And Valerie went to Atlanta on a free, which is a bit of a shame. Redmond's now retired. Any more guys that I can recognise there? Will Ferry off to Rotherham, but that's on loan. No, it doesn't look like too much. Shrewsbury signed Russ, and Olegbe went to Lamel, but nothing substantial there. Let's jump another 10 years this time, see where they're at and how they've got on. Okay, so we are in 2040 and Southampton have been relegated again. They had Scott Parker as manager. I mean, it looks like they're first, so it looks like they've actually got promoted and they're back in the Premier League, smashing the league. I don't really know what's going on. They seem to get relegated and go straight back up. Yeah, that's what it looks like. They got 6th, then were mid-table, 11th, and then 18th. So got sent down, and they won the championship twice now. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. But Scott Parker's manager, interesting. Let's take a look at the B team. So it looks like the B team are in Sky Bet League 1. Overview-wise, they've got Alex Adeyemi, who's their key player, who doesn't look too bad. He's come through the academy, been loaned out a few times. Nice. That's not too bad. So what's happened here? So they managed to get up to the championship. winning League One, scraped by it staying up, then got relegated twice in a row. Maybe because of how things went with Southampton's main team? They got relegated again to League One, from League One to League Two, and then got promoted. So this seems to be their level. League One, League Two seems to be the level, which isn't bad. If these players are getting, young players are getting first team football at a League One, League Two level, week in, week out, and they're all getting it, and they're playing the way that the club wants them to play, I think that's pretty impressive. Players wise, is there anyone who's like overly aged? Doesn't look like it. It looks like they've kept the age down as well, which is obviously good and useful for them. But yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. I think we've got a good gist of the idea. I mean, so the main team, Southampton, haven't done very well, having getting relegated and promoted. I mean, they're playing £115,000 to their vice captain, who's 35 years old, in the championship. So it's not great. I don't know. James Faulkner's their wonder kid, or hot prospect, I should say. But there you have it. Well, I think that'll do us. Thank you very much for watching. I thought it was a little bit of an interesting one, just seeing how well Southampton B could do and how that affects the main team. Maybe it's detrimental, but I think this kind of happens in most Football Manager saves with Saints. But anyway, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you next time.